For the last decade, the global transition to electric vehicles has been built on a fragile, highly volatile foundation. Legacy automakers, from Tesla in Texas to the giants of Stuttgart, have chained their entire corporate futures to a single chemical element: lithium. They have poured hundreds of billions of dollars into a supply chain that is fundamentally flawed, geopolitically constrained, and dangerously expensive. But what if the structural core of modern EV engineering just became completely obsolete overnight? Welcome back to Drive&rpm. Today, we are executing a forensic, component-level teardown of the exact technology that is currently triggering panic in Western automotive boardrooms: CATL's Naxtra Sodium-Ion Battery. This is not a rendering. This is not a laboratory concept waiting for funding. CATL, the undisputed heavyweight champion of global battery manufacturing, has officially triggered mass production of a commercial sodium-ion cell capable of a verified 310 miles or 500 kilometers of range. If you understand the EV market, you know that 310 miles is the exact psychological and practical threshold where range anxiety dies for the average North American and European driver. But CATL isn't crossing this threshold with expensive nickel, volatile cobalt, or constrained lithium. They are doing it with one of the most abundant, dirt-cheap elements on the planet: salt. Today, we are going to place the Naxtra architecture under the microscope. We will dissect how CATL engineers bypassed the fatal geometrical flaws of sodium intercalation, how this specific cell rewrites the thermodynamic laws of winter driving, and why this mass production launch is a catastrophic, extinction-level event for traditional lithium-ion dominance. The EV price war is about to get brutal. Let's break it down. To truly understand the absolute genius behind the Naxtra battery, we have to strip away the marketing and look at the atomic architecture. Why hasn't sodium been used before? Historically, the fatal flaw of sodium-ion technology was a simple, unforgiving issue of physical geometry. The ionic radius of a sodium ion is approximately 0.102 nanometers, compared to a lithium ion, which sits at a tiny 0.076 nanometers. Sodium is massively bloated. It is physically enormous at the molecular level. In a traditional lithium-ion battery, the anode, the negative electrode, is made of graphite. Graphite features a highly ordered, crystalline lattice structure with an interlayer spacing of about 0.335 nanometers. When you charge a battery, you are forcing ions into this structure, a process called intercalation. Forcing massive sodium ions into a tight graphite lattice is an engineering nightmare. It causes severe volumetric expansion. The physical strain shatters the atomic lattice, destroying the battery's structural integrity almost instantly, and yielding an abysmal, unusable energy density of around 90 watt-hours per kilogram. For a 2-ton vehicle, that meant unacceptable weight and terrible range. But CATL just broke the system. They realized you cannot force sodium to play by lithium's rules. So, they entirely abandoned traditional graphite. Instead, their engineering teams developed a highly complex, proprietary material known as a hard carbon anode. Hard carbon is fundamentally different from graphite. It features a disordered, amorphous structure with massive micropores and significantly wider, irregular interlayer spacing. It acts like a highly engineered, molecular sponge designed specifically to accommodate the massive sodium ions without any structural degradation. By utilizing this porous hard carbon, the sodium ions can rapidly enter and exit the anode without expanding or cracking the electrode. This single breakthrough solved the degradation cycle. But the anode is only half the battle. To hit that magic 310-mile range, CATL had to reinvent the cathode. If the hard carbon anode acts as the garage for the sodium ions, The cathode is the engine that dictates the voltage and the total energy capacity. While Western startups were struggling with rapid voltage fade, CATL deployed a masterclass in material science. For the Naxtra cells, they have bypassed traditional lithium metal oxides entirely. Instead, they are utilizing advanced Prussian white analogs and highly complex layered transition metal oxides. Prussian white is a crystalline framework that provides massive, open channels for the sodium ions to flow through. By stabilizing this cathode structure at the microscopic level to prevent transition metal dissolution, CATL successfully pushed the gravimetric energy density of these commercial cells up to 160 watt-hours per kilogram. Let's put that number into perspective. 160 watt-hours per kilogram completely closes the gap with the first generation of standard lithium iron phosphate or LFP cells that currently power millions of standard-range EVs worldwide. And CATL has already confirmed that their next iteration is validating at 200 watt-hours per kilogram. They have effectively solved the physics problem of gravimetric density. But as any engineer knows, energy density on a test bench is useless if the battery fails in the real world, and the real world gets cold. If you drive an EV in regions like Canada, the northern United States, or the UK, you know the absolute worst enemy of your vehicle's chassis is the winter. Standard lithium-ion chemical kinetics are notoriously dangerously sensitive to temperature drops. When the ambient temperature falls below freezing, the viscosity of the liquid electrolyte inside the battery thickens. It turns sluggish. Simultaneously, the charge transfer kinetics at the solid electrolyte interface, the SEI layer plummet. Internal electrical resistance skyrockets. The real-world result: you watch your 300-mile range instantly drop to 170 miles. DC fast charging turns into a painfully slow trickle to prevent lithium plating, which could cause a short circuit. To combat this, legacy automakers compensate by shoving massive, parasitic thermal management systems into the vehicle complex: heat pumps, heavy coolant loops, and high-voltage PTC heaters. These systems drain even more power from the battery just to keep the chemistry alive. Sodium-ion completely annihilates this thermodynamic bottleneck. It comes down to a metric called desolvation energy. The desolvation energy of sodium ions, the energy required for the ion to shed its solvent molecules before penetrating the anode, is significantly lower than that of lithium. In plain engineering terms, the chemical reaction remains highly hyperactive even when frozen solid. CATL's Naxtra cells retain over 90% of their total usable capacity at an extreme -20 degrees Celsius. That is -4 degrees Fahrenheit. At temperatures where traditional NMC or LFP chemistry is completely paralyzed, the Naxtra battery is delivering near-peak output. Furthermore, because of the high mobility of sodium within that porous hard carbon anode we discussed earlier, these cells can safely accept a massive influx of current, hitting a 10% to 80% charge in a staggering 15 minutes at room temperature. For automotive packaging, this changes everything. Automakers can strip out hundreds of pounds of complex, expensive thermal heating equipment. This reduces unsprung mass, drastically lowers the vehicle's curb weight, and massively increases overall mechanical efficiency. Let's shift away from thermodynamics and look at raw, brutal economics. This is the exact chapter where the traditional Western automotive supply chain collapses. Extracting lithium is an environmental and financial nightmare. It requires massive evaporation pools, extreme water consumption, and years of chemical processing. The supply chain is a choke point. Sodium is the 6th most abundant element in the Earth's crust. We literally pull it from the oceans. The resource bottleneck simply does not exist. But the cost-saving mathematics of the Naxtra architecture go far beyond just swapping the active ions. There is a hidden mechanical advantage that is about to destroy legacy manufacturing costs. The current collectors. In a standard lithium-ion cell, the current collector foil on the anode side must be made of pure copper. Why? Because lithium chemically alloys with aluminum at low voltage potentials. If you used aluminum, the battery would literally consume itself and fail. Copper is incredibly dense, incredibly heavy, and extremely expensive on the global commodities market. Sodium possesses a brilliant, industry-shifting chemical quirk. It does not alloy with aluminum at low potentials. This means CATL can completely eliminate copper from the cell architecture. They use cheap, lightweight, ultra-thin aluminum foil for both the anode and the cathode current collectors. When you remove expensive copper, completely eliminate controversial cobalt, remove nickel, and replace lithium with oceanic salt, the bill of materials plummets off a cliff. Current industrial data suggests CATL's sodium-ion cells are approaching a staggering cost reduction of 30% to 40% compared to base LFP cells. When you are manufacturing millions of EV chassis per year, that cost delta is an absolute nuclear weapon against Western automakers who are locked into multi-billion-dollar lithium contracts. How does CATL intend to deploy this 310-mile threat onto the streets? They aren't just selling raw cells to automakers. They are leveraging their revolutionary AB battery pack integration technology. This is perhaps the most advanced battery management system, or BMS architecture, we have seen in this decade. Instead of choosing between the absolute maximum energy density of lithium and the ultra-fast charging, cold weather superiority of sodium, CATL integrates both chemistries into a single cohesive cell-to-pack structural housing. The AB pack physically interlocks standard lithium-ion cells and new sodium-ion cells within the exact same chassis frame. The highly advanced software algorithm dynamically manages the discharge curves of both chemistries simultaneously in real time. It relies on the hyperactive sodium cells to handle the brutal high-amp demands of rapid acceleration, ultra-fast DC charging, and cold starts, while utilizing the lithium cells as a deep energy reserve for steady, long-distance highway cruising. It creates a hybrid battery pack that mathematically eliminates the traditional weaknesses of both elements. With mass production of the Naxtra line officially underway, we are moving past the early adoption phase. This 310-mile sodium architecture will immediately begin flooding into mid-size sedans, compact SUVs, and global export models. For legacy automakers in Detroit, Germany, and Japan, the clock hasn't just stopped, it has shattered. The Chinese domestic market has weaponized a battery architecture that is immune to lithium shortages, laughs at freezing temperatures, and is aggressively cheap to manufacture. The rules of EV engineering have been permanently rewritten, and the age of lithium dominance is officially over. If you want to stay ahead of the engineering curves that are actually shaping the future of the automotive industry, make sure you hit subscribe. This is Drive RPM, and we'll see you in the next teardown.